Manchester United have beaten Fulham 3-1 at Old Trafford in what was a crazy game, a crazy FA Cup quarter-final. A game where we have earned the privilege and the right to play Brighton in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and then later on to play, most likely, Manchester City in what would be a great FA Cup final. But of course, I'm not gonna lie to you, you've all watched the game, and you may have seen the same things that I've seen, which is that Fulham actually deserved to go through. If you are being honest, they played very well. They controlled most of the first half and the beginning of the second half. Had it not been for that incredible meltdown, where they got three red cards. And so in this video, of course, I'm gonna talk about some of the good stuff, but I also want to highlight a key area of improvement. Let's analyze. Okay, so the first sequence we're gonna look at is how disjointed our pressing was during this game. One of the hallmarks of Erik ten Hag's Manchester United, one of the most refreshing things about Manchester United under Erik ten Hag is our ability to press as a unit. If you remember our game against Manchester City in our 2-1 win against them, our wins against Arsenal and Liverpool earlier in the season at Old Trafford, we were a solid unit. There was not much space for the opposition to exploit, and we were really solid. All of us were pressing together. Everyone was working, everyone was pulling in a shift. However, against Fulham, and actually for the past few games, actually since Barcelona, since the game against Barcelona at Old Trafford, I've noticed that our pressing has actually regressed. So let's have a look here. So obviously the ball starts with Willian over here. So Sancho is taking Robinson, and then Wan-Bissaka is pressing Willian over here. Now, as the ball goes towards the middle, now Diop is receiving the ball with Weghorst going towards him. But what we notice here is that Tim Ream is actually free over here. Bruno Fernandes should actually split up and kind of try to cut these passing lanes over here. But he is with Palhinha. Now, as you may notice here, there is a wide gap over here in Manchester United's midfield. Where are Scott McTominay and Sabitzer? Let's keep observing what happens next. So, Diop over here goes with Tete, the right back. Now, as you can see, Palhinha can actually easily peel off from Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes does not know whether he should go with Palhinha or with Team Ream over there. But also Sabitzer, why is he all the way here? Shouldn't he be a little closer to Palhinha, hence allowing Bruno Fernandes to push a little higher? The reason for that, the reason why that's happening, we're gonna see it in a minute. So Ream has a lot of time on the ball. He can lift his head up. He can see where everyone is positioned. Mitrovic is coming close, dragging Harry Maguire with him. But also Sabitzer, the reason why he's pinned in this position is because Harrison Reed is making amazing runs. He's basically pinning Sabitzer in this area as well. As you can see, Scott McTominay also is not here because Andres Pereira is actually doing the same thing on the left-hand side. So Ream over here, he has time to think. As you can see, Scott McTominay is following Andres Pereira over here. So Ream for Andres Pereira. Now, Scott McTominay has to switch to Willian, from Andres Pereira to Willian. Now Willian is making a smart run, hence dragging Scott McTominay with him. Now Andres Pereira knows that there is no way to go here. There is Sancho and Wan-Bissaka, but Willian, by taking Scott McTominay with him, he opens up this space right here. And also Sabitzer cannot come here and help out because he's stuck with Harrison Reed, who has made a very, very nice run into this channel right here, the half spaces, right? So Andres Pereira comes back towards Tim Ream. Now, what happens again is that this area right here is empty. And we have Palhinha, but also the Fulham wide players can actually cut into this space, cut inside into this space over here. So now, Tim Ream, with one pass, he takes out Weghorst, Bruno Fernandes, and Sancho. That's it. They are out of the sequence. And then now Palhinha is facing goal and Weghorst behind him. This is an easy ball for him. There you go. Palhinha, by the way, is having an amazing season. Top player. I really like him. Goes in, and that's it. I mean, like our whole press from the front is disjointed and gets bypassed easily. Palhinha towards Tete, who, you know, goes in for a shot. Maybe it was not the best decision in these circumstances, but just this sequence just shows how dysfunctional our press is as a unit. It's not as airtight as it has been under Erik ten Hag for most of this season. But here I also have an example. In the same game, Manchester United actually pressed very well during certain sequences. And you notice how every time Manchester United players press as a unit and press decisively, we always end up being dangerous and we always end up creating good, dangerous chances and opportunities. For example, here, As you can see, Bruno Fernandes is tight with Palhinha, and also Sancho is going towards Robinson right there. That was the trigger. The pass from Leno triggers the press from Jadon Sancho. He's sprinting into Ream's face. Wan-Bissaka is taking Robinson over there, but also Ream right here has to go long, and then who's there? Harry Maguire is on Willian, and then a loose ball, Lisandro Martinez, and I love what Lisandro Martinez did here. Very direct, straight towards Weghorst over there, and then Weghorst 1-2 with Sancho. Sancho beautifully to Scott McTominay. This should have been a goal. It should have been an amazing goal, but this just shows how when everyone at Manchester United does their job, when everyone sticks to a certain position, sticks to a certain player, and when the players coordinate, who marks who? If you free up this space, then I should occupy it and someone else should come and occupy the space that I've freed. Then we can be actually very dangerous as a unit. Now, this is the sequence that has led to Manchester United's penalty and to that Willian and Mitrovic and Marco Silva red card. Okay, so here, beautiful clearance from Harry Maguire. By the way, Harry Maguire, some people, have said that maybe I should make a video about when are we gonna sell Harry Maguire. Listen, guys, I have no control over when the club or whether even the club sells Harry Maguire, okay? I'm not in control of that, okay? But I definitely think that he's not suited for Erik ten Hag's type of football at Manchester United. Mostly suited, for a team that plays with a back three and that sits deep, okay? Because in the air, he's very good. Here, the ball goes towards Bruno Fernandes. I'm gonna talk about Bruno Fernandes after this video analysis. What a player. Beautiful ball towards Anthony. Anthony was quite lively actually when he came on. He seemed like a man who had a point to prove. And then beautiful sprint into space. And then beautiful, that's efficient football. That's the kind of football that I want to see from Anthony. Enough with the flick-ons. Just pass the ball and move. Move into empty space, get the ball, run into the space, pass the ball like this. Jadon Sancho, not the fastest winger, but an agile winger, and here he showed his composure. Look at this, goes around the keeper, and then beautiful, street footballer, and then there you go, penalty for Manchester United, and that's a red card for Willian. Of course, we know Bruno Fernandes ended up scoring that goal. But I'll be honest here, when you are playing with 9 players against 11, that's it, it's game over. There's nothing like at this point, after the 70th minute, after the Bruno Fernandes penalty, there was no more tactics. There is nothing that I can say that is tactically insightful here because Fulham cannot have tactics with 8 outfield players against 10. It's impossible. But I'm still going to show the goals that we have scored. Harry Maguire towards Anthony again, and the reason why I'm showing this goal is because of this man right here, Marcel Sabitzer. I really like him. I was very happy every time that Weghorst scores a goal, and I was really happy to see Sabitzer score his first goal. And what a goal it was, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful finish. So anyway, Anthony again, very efficient with his run-in, very efficient with his football. The ball comes towards Bruno Fernandes, who here put in a shift as a central midfielder. Listen, guys, you gotta respect this man. This man right here, Bruno Fernandes, contributed vastly to Manchester United, to our success in the second half since the World Cup. I'm really happy to see them get in on the score sheet. And then this was, of course, the third goal. Fred has a knack. Every time he comes on, he ends up either assisting a goal or scoring a goal. Here he makes the right choice, goes for Bruno Fernandes. There is no way Anthony Robinson is gonna get that. And then I love that finish. He takes his time and then smashes it into the net. 3-1 Manchester United. What a game. Bring on Brighton. So now let's talk about Bruno Fernandes for a minute here. A lot of Manchester United fans, I feel it. I feel that they're making a mistake. They're making a mistake by taking Bruno Fernandes for granted. Listen, this guy right here is world class. Let's look at some key stats here. I'm sure that most of you have seen the fact that Bruno Fernandes has actually played the most minutes out of every player in the top 5 leagues this season. This guy is a machine. But let's look at some other stats. Here, this is the ranking out of all the players in the top 5 leagues. In terms of key passes, of course, as an attacking midfielder, this is a key stat that shows how creative a player is. And here, as you can see, Bruno Fernandes is ranked 4th behind powerhouses like Kevin De Bruyne, players who are performing very well this season like Jonas Hoffmann from Gladbach and Kieran Trippier. But still, he's 4th out of all of the players in the top 5 leagues, right? And then let's look at this really interesting stat, is that when you look at the Manchester United players this season and you rank them by tackles, Bruno Fernandes comes just behind Casemiro, second in line, even though we have many defenders. And yet Bruno Fernandes ranks second with 69 tackles. And what's even more interesting about this stat right here is that actually most of his tackles are either in the mid-third or in the defensive third. 26 tackles in the defensive third. This just shows his defensive contribution. He's literally like prime Wayne Rooney. He's literally tracking back, putting in the shift, tackling, working hard for the team, sacrificing himself for the team. And this season, he has played on the right, on the left, behind the striker, second striker, and as a defensive midfielder anytime we needed him. Don't take Bruno Fernandes for granted. He's a gem of a player. We are lucky to have him and we need to cherish him. So anyway, guys, just to sum it up, I don't think that we played particularly well. Maybe fatigue could be a factor, not only physical, but also mental fatigue. But also I think that us having a break was finally overdue, because I think that a lot of decisions this season did not go our way. And so having that break in this Fulham game probably was worth it, right? Was deserved, sorry. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this analysis video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me, what do you think about this? How do you think we should improve? What are some of the other areas of opportunity that I haven't talked about in some of my videos that I can cover in other videos? Until next time, cheers.